Good morning, everyone. It's Lydia, and I am coming to you after my 10-minute morning rebounding session. I'm now having a cup of coffee, and I just decided that on some days I just like to have coffee talk and just talk about things that I'm learning, things that I'm experiencing in hopes that just having somebody else be willing to have hard conversations makes somebody out there who might be going through a similar situation or have a similar feeling not feel alone and not feel like, or maybe they don't have a definition of what they're experiencing, but then when they hear someone explain it, they're like, oh, that's what happened with that person and why I felt weird about it. So I just learned something watching somebody else's feed, and I want to bring it up in a conversation. I've never heard the term today. Hi, Bro T. I've never heard the term weaponized incompetence. How many of y'all, if anyone's out there right now, any of the live feed people, if there's anyone who's heard that term, weaponized incompetence, how many of y'all have heard that? I have never heard that term before. I didn't even know what it was. I just saw someone on my friends list share it, share like somebody talking about it. And they were talking about it in the context of um, a relationship of like a male female relationship, like with a partner. But I heard the definition and I was like, oh, that's how I can define what that person is doing that triggers me. And so basically and I'm just going to define how I understand it, but what weaponized incompetence means is, have you ever had someone who basically does less than the rest of the team, and then they act like it's due to their incompetence, but the truth is when they don't want to step up to do their lion's share of the task, that makes other people have to work harder and to do more. So it's a way for a person to control others by getting them to do more of the work that the other person should be doing, but because they're incompetent acting or they are lacking in the doing their task, doing their part, stepping up to their aspect, that requires other people to have to jump through hoops, do extra work, go the extra mile, do more, and that other person is completely comfortable with everyone else running around with their like a chicken with their heads cut off while they sit back and just don't do anything. You know, they don't contribute to the same levels because they have excuses. They say they're sick, they can't do it, they're weak and tired. But all of a sudden, when there's something that they want to do, they're not sick anymore. They're capable of doing great feats that take lots of energy because it's something that they want to do. So I've experienced this, and where I'm going with this conversation is how to manage people who are using they're weaponizing their incompetence as a form of control so they can feel powerful. Their ego needs to feel powerful over others so that they can feel good about themselves. rather than everyone just working as a team and everyone doing their part and everyone contributing and everyone working towards the same common goal. That would be like the healthy way of working together. So, how does someone manage having someone like this in their lives? Really, in a lot of cases, in order to get through something and get over with it, you might have to do for the project, you might have to do extra work just to get through the situation. But where you can establish boundaries is where you're willing to set set a standard and just say, no, you can't really do that anymore. I'm not going to jump through hoops any longer. This isn't working for me any longer. I've already done a certain amount and this is all I'm doing. And, you can choose to walk away from the situation or the circumstance because really everyone knows that it's on the individual um, who is not doing their part, and they know it too. The person who's trying to use this incompetence as a form of control knows it. They know it. Everyone knows it, whether it's a subconscious knowing or a conscious knowing. Everyone knows it at some level. So Bro T is asking, my inner voice has been unmotivated, have got to get back rebounding, have been avoiding it for a month. So your inner voice is unmotivated. So I understand that. What I can share from my own perspective is that when I'm unmotivated, you have to do the actions, maybe it's the mental actions that are the steps to getting you back to that level of where you're on automatic pilot motivated. So, like right now, personally, I'm on automatic pilot motivated because I have this strong goal and vision for myself. But what gets me there? So I'm going to share something I did yesterday. I you know, as y'all know, I've done like 204 days now of rebounding in a row. And I don't feel concerned that I'm going to stop because I have such a strong visual and a strong goal. And one of the strong goals that I've put in front of me is that I really want to make it to 365 days of this year. I want to say that in 20, it's almost like a marathon. I want to say so badly that I did 365 days in a row of consistent rebounding, and this was my experience. And I know it would be so easy to just not do it. But the thing is I feel like I am, a marathon is 26.2 miles, and I feel like I'm on mile 15, which is way over 2 miles, way over half of the marathon. So because I'm already halfway there and the finish line is shorter than the ramp up of where I started, I feel like because I did, the 15 miles, I can make it the other half because it's shorter than where I have come from. So I'm sharing for me, and I hope this helps somebody out there and resonates, that all of this that we're doing is a mind game. We have to get dominion over our minds and put the pieces of our thinking in front of us to be motivational support tools. Okay, so y'all remember how on my rebounding sessions, how I say do 5 minutes and 5-minute timers instead of doing a 10-minute timer. That's just like what works for me, but maybe it works for you guys too. The reason is because I need to win faster. Like I personally, I get bored. And so I have a shorter attention span. And so I need to get to the 5 minutes. And at that point, I'm like, oh, I'm halfway done. I can do this other half. I mean, I can accomplish the other half of this workout because I'm halfway through. So the other day, if y'all saw my video, the first day I did it by myself without recording it, I accidentally told my timer to give me 10 minutes because in my head I was thinking, oh, I do 10-minute workout. I forgot that I do 5-minute, 5-minute. And so I was like, oh, I'll just keep it. I'll just keep the 10-minute timer. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to see how it feels. It was grueling. I got through 7 minutes and then I had to ask her how many more minutes till it's over because I needed to hear that it was almost over. And she said like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And so I just thought, oh my God, this was so hard. I need to do 5 minutes and 5 minutes. Like that break of the confirmation that my workout's over in half of the time is easier for me to manage. And it's mental. It's all a mental conversation, a mental goal, achievement. And so Bro T, what I'm sharing is if you can find the little goals that help you to get closer to your motivation, then you got to figure out what those are for you. So here's what I was going to share. Yesterday, I'm big, I'm heavy, I'm still big girl. Nothing's changed there. But I have a bathing suit top that's like a bra top. It's a bikini top. And I have like bikini bottoms, but they're not small. They're just like, they look like underwear, but they're a bathing suit. And they go with like a bathing suit where you have a tankini on the top and then you wear the bottoms like the bathing suit bottoms. And you can wear like as a tankini top or like a baby doll top. I actually have a bikini top by itself. And so I put it on yesterday to see how it fit because in 2020, I could put it on, but I was filling it all out. Like everything was kind of busting at the seams, but I could put it on. It fit enough to hook it and everything. Yesterday, I put it on and the back straps were a little loose and the back fat wasn't as much. It wasn't squeezing my body as much. And then when I tried on the bottoms, I wasn't bursting out of the bottoms like I was when I ended up buying the bottoms and then gaining some weight. So I put that like bikini, I mean, it's not totally a bikini, but it's a bottom and a top on. And I took personal photos, in the mirror to see myself and look at myself in this bikini so I could one, see how I reacted, see how I reacted to seeing myself in a bikini at my big body size. And also, like, that was an experiment. And then at the same time, I wanted to visualize a smaller body in a bikini feeling good. And the reason I did that is because my whole life, I never wore a bikini. But in my senior year in college, I lost a bunch of weight. And when I was 21 years old, other than like a 5-year-old child, that was the first time I ever wore a bikini was when I was 21 years old. And it was weird because it was uncomfortable for me to be in a bikini. I wasn't even comfortable in a bikini in the beginning, and I had to get comfortable because I wasn't used to being comfortable in my body in a bikini. And since 1991, I've never worn a bikini again because after my sister died, I gained a lot of my weight back that I had lost. And then of course, I gained more. And then I've just lived with that weight all these years. And so I haven't ever wore a bikini since then. But what I did, so this is the Bro T, these are some of the tools that I do to myself to help keep me motivated. And so wanting to one day, even at 55 years old, wanting to look good in a bikini or to put on a bikini and go, you don't look that bad. So I put on the bikini, and even though I wouldn't go in public in this bikini, I was able to look at my body and appreciate how it's changed from the last 6 months. And then I get excited about, well, what's going to happen in 6 more months? Like if I do 6 more months of what I'm doing and I don't really have the kind of change I want my body to experience after such dedication, I may have to tweak what I'm doing. Maybe get more restrictive, maybe give up a few things, maybe change some dietary habits, maybe work out more. Like, I don't know what those things are going to be, but I'm going to find out. I'm in the journey of figuring it out. I'm in the journey of finding out what it is that I'm going to need to do to get the results that I want to get. So if you just treat it like a life journey instead of a destination, then I'm going to keep tweaking and I'm going to keep changing and I'm going to keep evolving and I'm going to keep learning and I'm going to keep growing. That's how I see what I'm doing. And that gives me patience because when we want something, we don't have the patience to be patient enough to let our bodies catch up to what we're doing. And so, um, just something I've been telling myself through this journey is it really requires patience, it requires consistency, it requires dedication, it requires determination. Um, I mean, patience is such a big factor in allowing yourself and allowing your body. It also requires trust. When you trust that your body is an intelligent entity and it knows what it needs, like if you're not dropping a weight fast enough, just trust that but you're doing new things and what you might consider the right things. Just trust that your body knows what your body needs. And, when I read that book, The Miracles of Rebounding, The New Miracles of Rebounding, it had the chapter 11. I talk about this often. It had like the 4 things that you need for a healthy body. And it was like good, clean, reverse osmosis water, um, oxygen, and you can get that through rebounding because rebounding requires you to get oxygen, uh, nutrients, whole foods, good vitamin minerals through good whole food eating, and then a positive mental attitude. And I just feel like that's such an important piece of this journey that we want to skip because it's like a little bit more confronting when we, look at when we literally like have a mirror and we see how negative we are towards our situation or our circumstances. It's really hard to change that because I think there's an automatic thing in there. I don't know if it's the ego or what, but there's some automatic negativity in there that just wants to keep us from living our best life, or believing that we could live our best life, or trusting that, I've said this before, like I go to a church and they coined a phrase, life is meant to be good. And if you come from like that foundation and that perspective, then if life is meant to be good and your life isn't going good, then maybe there's an opportunity for you to search and look, and maybe there's a driving force to figure out what's going to make life be good for you. And that's an individual decision for each person. Like what makes life good for one person isn't necessarily what makes life good for another. So Bro T says, I was feeling so good and to give up, and I noticed how quickly I felt tired and floppy. Oh, you're talking about like once you stopped doing the rebounding, how quickly it removed all the good feeling in you. So Bro T, I'm gonna ask you some questions if you're still there. When you were rebounding, was there something going on in your life that was working, and then now that has shifted? So for instance, I know that when, like if people have a job and their core needs are met, and they have their security and their safety needs are met, and then all of a sudden, boom, they lose their job. I mean, things like that are going to really throw you off the path. And so, did anything big change? Did anything big change um, from the point of you being happy and rebounding all the time to stopping rebounding? Like, was there like an emotional upset or a physical upset or something big change in your life? Because sometimes you got to give yourself grace, because you can go through hard times. And I went through a hard time like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I just kept rebounding. It was so difficult to do it, and it was definitely difficult to do it on video. um, but I knew that I would be happier if I continued with my commitment to doing the rebounding. So it was hard to confront that for myself, but I got through it, and I got past it. I went to a family reunion and stopped after family issue. Oh yeah, see, that's the thing, is that so I have similar. I'm coming on the 1 year anniversary of my mom's death, and there's some family issues that are present about individuals who are not willing to be complete, and they're holding on, and they're using their what did I call it? That incompetence. What was the first word of this title of this video? See, I've already forgotten the term, but basically where people lack their commitment to their part, to do their part. And so that's, a way of control. And so, yes, so so here's how I'm looking at my situation is, I could allow that to have power over, I call it a disruptor, when individuals, family, people, whatever, want to disrupt your progress. If I allow that individual to disrupt my progress, then that's on me. But by getting powerful dominion over staying the course of my plans and my goals and not letting their actions cause disruption, that's where I win. But I win within me. It's a personal win. I'm not winning over that person. Maybe that person thinks that. I'm just taking care of my needs and not letting their actions change my trajectory. Does that make sense? So y'all know that guy, Howie, he used to be like an NFL player and now he has a very popular podcast. He has a little video floating around the internet where he says like the most powerful skill, they used the term skill that you can learn is how to have like control, personal self-control over your emotions and your reactions. Because there's going to be people and situations and triggers like all the time, happening out there in the world and in life. But we get to actually be in control of the control buttons. And so when you can learn how to choose your own control buttons and how you're going to respond or react, you're winning over you. And that's all that matters, because it doesn't matter about that other person. That other person is living their lives. They're living out their karma and their problems and their ego issues and their needs to project on other people. And you have to just get dominion over you. And so when you don't allow the family drama or just a boss or a neighbor or a friend, to cause you disruption over your life, that is when you can feel like you're winning in your walk with your life and your journey. And so I've had some of that happen. I've had some of that happen. I'm going to try to figure out, what is that word, y'all, that I was using? Let me see if I can see on my other phone. Let me see. It's called, Weaponized Incompetence. That's how I titled this video. So people not doing their part so that other people have to do extra work. It's a form of control. And this is par for the course. The person that's doing this is so out of control with themselves that they have to control others to get they're like vampires. And in order to feel good, they got to drink other people's blood and suck from other people's energy because they don't fill their own vessel up with their needs. So they go looking at ways to go take from others. And it's no fun being in a relationship with just people that are just constantly taking and that don't offer and give. I mean, it's one thing if you're in a relationship with someone and you're giving for them, and then all of a sudden you need something. You need a little bit of support, you need a little help, but then you go back because your regular nature is to give, and then every once in a while you need a little downtime or a little something from the relationship. That's normal. That's like a give and take. It's a balance. Yeah, it's like a parasite. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I can see it's my behavior sabotage. So yeah, we are in control of ourselves. And so when we want to point the finger and say, oh, he's doing that or she's doing this, ultimately you're giving away your power when you suggest that. When you tell yourself, they're doing something and it's causing you to do something else, you're just giving them your power. But in order to take your power back, you have to recognize that you have the decision, you have the control to determine how you want to feel and whether or not you want to be around that person or that energy. You may not be able to be around it because you're not in control of yourself. But if, if it's like a family reunion or whatever, I mean, a lot of people have to like get themselves all armored up, to go be in toxic family situations. So, and then it's funny because the people who are toxic, they don't even see that they're toxic, they haven't maybe done the real work to know what they're doing is not, appropriate. So the good news is to leave this conversation on a good note. The good news is we do have a choice. Your choices are yours. And if you think that they're not, you got to do the work to realize that they are. So if you're in a relationship where you think, no, my husband controls me, or my boyfriend or my girlfriend controls me, they don't. You're allowing, you're saying, here's my power, go take it and abuse me. So I'm telling you, you do have the power. You got to find it. If you don't have it, you got to find it. So go out there and find your power and take it back, rein it in, swirl it like a tornado, and drink it back in your body and get all that vacuum power inside your body instead of getting it outside of yourself and giving it away, and harness that power inside of you to achieve the things that you want for your life. And I was talking to a friend this weekend, and she had an aha moment, but that has been a thought that I have been having myself. And my aha moment came, a couple months ago, but it had to do with, maybe, like for me, maybe playing small and not stepping into my full potential is my way uh, of not being in my full power. Maybe by me not achieving, because I have the power to, like, so for instance, if I wanted to lose 100 pounds, I have the power to do that, but I sabotage it by maybe not exercising more than I am, or maybe by eating certain foods, that I shouldn't eat, or maybe I eat those certain foods at the wrong time of day and they don't get completely metabolized or whatever. Like I ate some chips and queso late last night, like at 8:30 after I had gone swimming. So um, I could, would I do that if I was seriously dieting? Absolutely not. I mean, I gave up chips and queso when I lost 90 pounds. But my point is that if I choose that, then I choose it, and I am willing to accept the consequences. And the consequences are that I'm just delaying myself from achieving the goal that I want. I'm just pushing it a little bit further, kicking the can a little further down the road so that it's always kind of elusive. That goal is elusive versus like making that making that goal a stable post, and then me working towards getting to achieve that finish line and achieve whatever that goal is. So by not achieving it, I can continue to live in the story of, oh, poor me, I can't achieve my goals. you know, instead of what would life be like if I actually achieved my goals? You know, I'd have to set new goals. Then I'd have to live up to higher levels of acceptance and potential, you know? So, anyway, bottom line is if anyone is weaponizing their incompetence for you in your relationship with them, recognize it. And if you choose to not want to, you know, accept it or put up with it, I think that's healthy. And you can feel good about setting boundaries and making choices that remove you from the toxic dysfunction and situation, and recognize that they have their own needs and they're just parasitic or vampires that are just um, sucking off of the host because they want to be incompetent so they don't have to do any of the hard work. Um, so you can look at people like that and see a consistent pattern. So when you, if it's a one-time thing, then you know it's circumstantial. But if you see that every time there's an opportunity to do their part, something comes up that causes them to not be able to do their part, so then someone else has to do their part, or they act incompetent where they can't contribute, instead of people who feel proud of their skills and their abilities and they say, look, here's how I want to offer this to the family. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to use my time and talents to contribute to the family. When people don't do that, there's something else running the show, and it's not pretty. And it's nothing to be proud of either. So figure out what motivates you, figure out what helps keep you strong. Recognize that this is a mental game. Life is a mental game. And so when you can learn how to put the mental, break down the mental blocks that hinder you from moving forward and achieving what you want, it's like chipping away till you can get to where you want to be and where you want to go. So that's Monday's coffee talk today. That's just what's on my mind, and I hope you all are gonna have a positive start to your day. And I already did my 10-minute bounce, and I listened to my Italian language classes on my Audible, and it gets me excited about visiting Italy again one day soon. Okay, so Broti says, yep, that would be wonderful. Reaching goals and overriding the mental blocks certainly helped me listening to you. Aw, thank you. I'm glad. And, you know, like everything happens for a reason. So hopefully this conversation ends up being resonant for other people. And I just, you know, I want to put out what I feel guided to talk about in hopes that a few people might come across the video, and find some new thoughts and new ideas, you know, to consider themselves like, hey, there might be another option for me. You know, like I'm in a rut. How can I get out of my rut? Like I hope that it's Lydia's well. You know, if you're down in a well and you're in a rut, I'm going to throw a rope down to you through these conversations, and hopefully you can help yourself shimmy out of your well. So keep it positive if you can, and when it's not positive, know that it's going to get better, and that truly life is meant to be good. We just got to figure out what that means. All right. All right, guys, that's the end of this morning's coffee talk. Oh, hi, Debbie. This morning's coffee talk. Debbie, how are you doing? I was just hanging up. I was doing I did my 10-minute bounce already offline, and I decided that when I stop to have my coffees, I'll come on and have coffee talk and talk about whatever it is that I'm working on. So I'm about to upload a video I took yesterday. I tried on the jacket from December 11th, and the one that I couldn't zip up in October. And of course, yes, I'm zipping it up, but it slid further down on my hips. Before, it was only on the like love handles part of my body. And now I've been able to bring it further down over my butt and to my leg thighs, where the width of my leg thighs are. And it's never been that far. So my body's shrinking, it's getting smaller, the weight's not changing, and I still plan on doing a DEXA scan to see where my bone density is, because I'm excited about learning where my bone density is. So Debbie says, my sciatica nerve is killing me. That's awesome. Keep bouncing. Oh, I would Google on YouTube, how to work on the sciatica stretching at home, because I know people have a lot of issues with the sciatica. So I hope that gets better for you. So y'all have a great day. Joy hasn't woken up yet, so she's got to wake up. I'm cleaning house, applying for jobs, and packing still. So what do I want to say? Oh, that I'm going to be back for a 5-minute booster bounce this afternoon. And if you haven't noticed, I have been consistently doing my 5-minute boosters on video. So I just took the mornings over for myself, the 10-minute mornings, and I will continue to do 10-minute mornings when I feel up to it. But right now I'm just doing something different. So I'm doing the 5-minute booster bounces online on lives. So y'all have a wonderful day. And I'm going to upload that video now of the jacket try on, the jacket progress report. It's been so long since I've tried on that jacket. It was definitely in the winter. But it's hot. It's summertime here now, guys. So, and the lazy river opens next week. So maybe I'll take y'all through a live experience of me walking the lazy river. All right. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Good morning, Mike. Good. I see you, Mike. Have a good day, Mike and Debbie and Bro T and Jeffrey. Thank you all for popping on. Talk to you later.